The people of Letterkenny are besieged by a brand new app, Fartbook, and it's taking over the internet by storm. Up next, Letterkenny After Show.
I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
What's up, guys? How we doing? Adam Carr here. Thanks for having me back for episode 3. I've enjoyed these thus far. Letterkenny, kicking off. This, to me, episode 3, funniest episode that I've watched yet. And this, to me, is the episode, if you were going to get into this show, or if you were going to show an episode of why this show is good, this would be the episode that you'd pick, because this show is fucking genius. So we're going to talk about, there's a new app called Fartbook that's making the rounds. It's making a lot of wind, if you know what I mean. Also, we're going to be looking at the ostrich fucking again, because the ginger, that keeps coming back, right? Little throwback to episode 2. And then finally, Glenn, our pastor extraordinaire, seems like the clean-cut, cookie cutter, peanut butter and jam guy, but turns out Glenn's a little shady, little shifty McGee, if you catch my drift. So we're talking about Stuart here. Stuart comes up, and Stuart and Roald come up, and Stuart, as I remember I told you, he's got that Clockwork Orange thing going on with like a Jesse Pinkman. This guy's like really thin. I don't know what this guy, do you just drink water? Like before the show, you're just like razor thin. You play a meth head very well, but obviously you're like sober, good, everything's good with you, but well done on playing the meth head, because I believe it. I believe it, especially the scabs on the neck. Anyway, they're asking all these different questions about what farts should be, right? Because Dan is basically sitting there just unloading and letting his farts go. And he's also farting in front of Katie, which I gotta tell you, if your sister has a hot friend, growing up, you're single, you don't fart in front of the girl. And so Dan's like, I know all these people who fart in front of people and they fall in love. And, I did this. This girl took a shit in front of this guy and he married her right on the spot. Yeah, Dan, those aren't real. Or like they're the except story. Like, well, that's the exception. The exception is never the rule. Just go for the general rule. My experience, I have a girlfriend. I still don't fart in front of her because you kill the mystery, and that's exactly what Wayne says. You can't do that. You gotta let some mystery still happen in between them. I'm sorry. Every time I try to do Letterkenny, I sound Irish, and it's happening. My girlfriend told me don't go Irish, but I feel like I got little lucky charms. So I'm sorry. I talk down here more. What it's saying, yeah, the farts. Okay, I got it back. So Dan keeps farting, and then Wayne and Daryl are like going at it. They fight for a little bit. Dan has the peanut butter and jelly metaphor, like, you both go together, but try to pull you apart, you're just nutty. Clearly, too, Dan has the hots for Katie, because every time he says something, Wayne says, easy over there, and Dan always goes, sorry, not saying anything, nope, Katie's definitely not hot, not thinking about it, not thinking about it at all. We're all thinking about it, Dan. So they decide, after they say, you got some, they give some great metaphors for farts. And another one that I love is rectal turbulence. That one really stuck with me. There's some rectal turbulence there. They talk about that you need to catalog your farts. And then they go, wait, holy shit. We're not just going to catalog your farts for your friends and for you to talk about them, but we need a network to talk about your farts, right? Grown men and women talking about networking your farts. Only in Canada. Because this idea would have gotten shot down in America in about 3 seconds. Who am I kidding? This would be a reality show in a second. Next up, farts on VH1. So they're saying that it could have a positive influence, that there's a social network of these people. So obviously, this episode spoofs the social network, and it's genius. Because Devin, who's another sidekick of Stuart's, not to be confused with Roald, who kind of looks like a little bit like a scary clown, I'm not going to lie. It gets a little creepy. Devin takes on the Mark Zuckerberg, Jesse Eisenberg role here, and that guy is brilliant. His spot-on impression of Jesse Eisenberg, and he has all the quotes, he does it beautifully. So they're trying to say, too, that they should make a website. Then they're like, no, skip the middleman. We're just going to make a website. We're not going to go to somebody else. We're going to do this ourselves. And as they do, it drops, they have Fartbook, right? And then, of course, Stuart and Devin are trying to tell them, no, if you're going to do this, Devin has the Mark Zuckerberg moment. Excuse me, not Mark Zuckerberg. Who was the third guy, Napster, that Justin Timberlake played. God, what's that guy's name? Sean. Let's just go with Sean, the Justin Timberlake guy. But he basically says, drop the. Just say Fartbook. Genius. And that guy nailed it. Then they're also talking about maybe they should have ringtones. And he's like, should we have like fart ringtones? I guarantee you, if you put up fart ringtones, that shit will go viral. As the boys approach, you get a little Riley and Jonesy approaching. Daryl does the old talking to himself routine. Absolutely hysterical. That's that. Let's see. Wayne calls out when everybody's talking about taking a picture together, say cheese. He goes, no, I hate that. He's like, you can't say cheese. He's like, because it's fake. Because people go, say cheese. Like they're acting like they're having a good time. Photos need to be taken like in the moment. I'm with you, Wayne. Don't do this pausing for cheese crap. Or like, people go, yeah, like you're having a good time. If you snapped it right there, it would look like I was having a good time. I'm obviously having a great time in doing the show, but I'm not having a great time for the photo. Do you get it? Like, be real. Canadians are good with this stuff. Americans were so fake. I would bring up again how the ginger fucked the ostrich, allegedly. Like, well, it'd take 2 guys to fuck an ostrich. Well, maybe the ostrich was sick. I think it would at least take 2. I'm going to still say 3. Finally, Fartbook takes over. It's everywhere. People are looking up farts. They're looking at their neighbors' farts. They're getting involved. I wrote new character, Gail, who we meet in this episode, who is brilliant. I will tell you right now, Gail is my favorite character of this entire series because she has the best lines. I wrote down one of her quotes. Let's see. I heard it's called spunking, not spamming. And Gail's always trying to get like in Wayne's pants because she knows like he's a little broken and feeling sad. But Gail kind of comes on a little bit too strong. We're going to get into that in some later episodes. But Gail also tells off Stuart. It's the best part. She tells him how much he sucks. Katie gets called out on Fartbook because she does all these postings about her cat's farts. And they tell her, Katie, no one cares about the cat's farts. And you can tell Katie's hurt because they're cute. They're cute farts. And as we see at the end of the episode, Stuart keeps clicking on Katie's cat farts and kind of sits back, which is just like in The Social Network when Jesse Eisenberg, right? Mark Zuckerberg, he clicks on the girl who he broke up with at the beginning, Rooney Mara, right? Same thing, sitting back, and he's going, oh, he's in love with her. And we get a little bit of a tease of a love that might develop in some later episodes here in later seasons. Let's see. As we finish up the episode here, I want to say at the end, Glenn, of course, just steals the idea, does his own thing, and says, you think you're the only ones to have this idea? Here, let me do it as Glenn. Do you think you're the only ones to have this idea in the world? I also have this idea. Other people have this idea. What a great pastor. Special segment, I just wanted to say, is one of the best lines from this episode, which I think fully encapsulates how funny this show is. You don't get to 500 farts without making a few sharts. That should have been my high school yearbook quote. It would have been. Would have been a damn good one. Well, I want to thank you all for joining me today for episode 3 of Letterkenny. Catch me on Instagram at FunnyGuy1985, or if you want to see my hand modeling shots, I have them. It's AdamCarr.com. Good night.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.